minute 30 used.
In the Disney movie Frozen, there is a young girl named Elsa who has magical powers. These magical powers allow her to control ice. But she thinks that her magical powers are a threat, both to her, her country, and her little sister. When she attends her own coronation ceremony to become the queen of the country, she's ostracized because the people find out that she has the power to control ice. So, Elsa, who never really meant anyone any harm, ends up banished from her own country because the people see something they don't understand and make up an interpretation to analyze it with. This reminded me of the quotation I was given today. There are no facts, just interpretations, by Friedrich Nietzsche. I interpret this quote to mean that perception is reality, because what you see is much more important than what's actually there. We will be examining this through 3 lenses of analysis: Sidney Frank, an entrepreneur; Heroin Chic, a popular style from the 90s; and Cards Against Humanity and their famous marketing strategy. So today, we will first be analyzing the quote through Sidney Frank. Sidney Frank is the creator of Grey Goose vodka, which I'm sure all of you know about. However, in the very beginning, he wasn't this famous. In fact, everybody hated his vodka and thought it was a cheap, not classy product. So what he did was he didn't change the recipe of his vodka to make it taste better. Instead, he moved all of his factories to France so that he could put "Made in France" on the bottle. He packaged it in a nicer, more expensive packaging, and then he sold it for double the price. After this, Sidney Frank became one of the richest men in the world because everyone wanted his Grey Goose vodka. So now he jetpacks around the country and brings his golf caddy with him on the off chance that he might want to play golf when he lands in Spain. So now that we've taken out Sidney Frank and people's perception of his Grey Goose vodka, we can take a look at Heroin Chic. Now, the connotation of heroin is bad and drug and possibly that you don't want to get addicted to it. However, Heroin Chic was a popular style in the 90s where magazines would hire emaciated models with bags under their eyes that looked like they were addicted to heroin, because this look was popular and people liked it. So Heroin Chic was popularized not by the facts or what it actually looked like, someone who looks like they're addicted to heroin, but by what the perception of that look is, which is a popular, stylish look that people wanted for their magazines and for themselves. So now that we've seen how Heroin Chic was popularized by people's perceptions, we can take a look at Cards Against Humanity and their famous marketing strategy. I think in 2013, Cards Against Humanity launched a Black Friday anti-sale, where they marked up the price of their board game by 2. And Cards Against Humanity is famous for being a satirical game board that a lot of people like to play to make fun of themselves and to make fun of society. So when Cards Against Humanity launched this anti-sale, their sales didn't plummet. They rose because people all wanted to be part of this satirical anti-sale. So, because Cards Against Humanity has the perception of being cutting edge and satirical, people wanted to be a part of it, and they decided to participate in this anti-sale even though they were twice as expensive as they usually are. It wasn't about how expensive the cards were, but about what it looked like to buy them when they were marked up to double. So today, we've looked at the quotation, "There are no facts, just interpretations." We interpreted this quote to mean that perception is reality. And this is because what you see is actually much more important than what's actually there. We looked at this through Sidney Frank, who packaged his Grey Goose vodka in a nicer packaging and got more people to buy it, through Heroin Chic, which isn't necessarily the best style, but looks better and that's why people want it, and Cards Against Humanity, who launched an anti-sale, but because of their image and because of the way people perceived them, the sales rose. So now we can look back at Elsa, who was banished from her land, not because she was a bad person or because she wanted to hurt anyone, but because the people in her town saw her as a threat.